Hey guys, it's Tara. I have to apologize that I'm here. First of all, I skipped last week because it was the 4th of July on Wednesday, and today I'm here so early. Normally I come to you live on Wednesdays at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Time, but with the new schedule for summer, I'm still kind of trying to figure out what's going to work best, what's going to make me... It says, a new notification. Tap to invite a viewer to be in your broadcast. Oh, I have no idea. Hey, Tiffany. I'm all lost here. Hey, Tiffany. I don't know. There's some new notification that came on that I haven't seen. It's like somebody's profile picture, and it says that it looks like they want in and they can't join live or something. I really don't know. Sorry. Whoever is here, thank you for joining me. I know I'm here much earlier than usual, and I was just saying I'm not sure what my time is going to be as I settle into the summer. Good morning, Tiffany. So I'm still figuring it out. I'll let you know if I come up with something that's going to be more regular. Maybe it'll be this time, maybe it'll be something else. But I was just talking to a client yesterday actually about this very topic, and since a lot of you guys watching are moms with small children, you might understand. But this time of year, as wonderful as the summer is, it can be kind of hard. You're transitioning over to a new schedule, and a lot of times it takes time to adjust to the new schedule for you, for the kids, for both, and then it feels like once you get into that new routine, it's September and it's time to just change it all up again. So we are feeling a little bit of that over here. The kids are they've started a camp, just like part-time, a couple hours here and there, and they're having some trouble adjusting, which of course makes it hard. It pulls on the heartstrings and all of that. So right now I am alone. The kids are at camp, and I figured let me just pop on before the day gets away from me. So you may have noticed, if you guys are on my email list, or you follow my blog, or you follow my social media posts, that I've been doing a lot of talk lately to you guys about mindset shifts and how it relates to weight loss. That's here to stay. So hopefully you guys are seeing the value in it. And if not, maybe you'll just stick around and give it a shot at least, and keep an open mind as to why I'm talking about this stuff. Yes, I will still talk about the nitty-gritty, nutrition facts and tips and share recipes. Yes, I'll still talk about fitness. All that stuff is still important. But if you saw what I posted here before I started the video, if you are not addressing the root cause of being overweight or overeating, then your results will be at best temporary, and at worst there'll be no results at all. So let me give you this little metaphor that is a little over the top, but it might help you to understand. So if you're walking around and you step on a thumbtack, and the thumbtack is sticking into your foot, you're not going to think about what dose of Tylenol you need to cover the pain from the thumbtack, right? That would be kind of ridiculous. You're going to reach down and pull out the thumbtack and remove the pain, and you don't have to worry about taking any medicine. It's getting to the root cause of the issue, and it's the direction in which, very slowly, but it is the direction in which medicine will be going. I'm very confident in that. We kind of got to a place where we took the benefits that we have of emergency medicine, trauma medicine, that type of thing, which is very helpful. We need that type of medicine. We need to be able to zone in on exactly where the bleeding is happening and control that, those types of situations. But we took that and we started applying it to every area of our, lives, health, body, all of that. And, we have specialists on top of specialists, and nobody is treating the whole person, right? Unless you go to a functional medicine doctor or a naturopathic doctor. Most doctors are not trained in treating the whole person. And we forget that we're an entire person, and we live in an ecosystem, and all of these things affect everything. So once you look at the whole person, you start to think about root causes, and you start to, instead of treating each disease, you think of it as what's going on in the body. Why is there inflammation? Inflammation can show up as disease A in one person, but it can show up as disease C in another person, and it might have a very similar root cause, and it might be inflammation and what's going on. And let's look at lifestyle factors. Let's look at nutrition. Let's look at, do you have any food sensitivities that you don't know about? I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but it's going to help me to explain my point here, I think. So when we get to the root cause of something, we can actually fix it and not just put a Band-Aid on it. And I think that most of you guys are ready for that. You know, most people I talk to, my clients, everybody seems to be ready for this change. Like, okay, I'm tired of there being a pill for every ill. I'm tired of the doctors not even addressing anything. And the other thing is it's really empowering when you realize that you have so much control over your life, and chronic disease is so much in your control, and it's very little about your genetics, and it's a lot about, you know, how you live your life and what you do. So the good thing about that is that we have a lot of control also about our weight. And a lot of people think, oh, I can't lose weight. They think about the past, you know, I've never been able to do it before, so that means in the future I can't. And we're kind of confusing what's happened in the past with what maybe is possible in the future. And so you need to start believing that you actually have control over this stuff, and you just maybe haven't found the right way yet. So Kim is here. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you today about the 4 reasons that we eat. There's only 4 reasons that we ever eat. And, you know, you'll be able to at least start to become aware of it. And maybe once you're aware of it, you'll be able to slowly change those things. Hey, Christine, thanks for joining. So, okay, the first reason that we eat is for fuel. So we're hungry, we want to sit down, we want to have a nutritious meal. This is when you're putting together your, you know, your healthy breakfast, your healthy lunch, your healthy dinner, all that stuff. You're thinking about it and you want to fuel your body. Hi, Laura. Hi, Kim. Thanks for the waves. And so that's the first reason, right? So a lot of times we stop there. People stop there and they act as if that's the only reason people eat. Well, you only eat because you're hungry, but that's not true, right? Most of us, I don't know one person, literally I don't know one person that has ever only eaten because they were hungry. There's other reasons we eat. We've all overeaten in the past. And some of us just do it more on a consistent basis. And that's why we end up having problems, health problems, weight issues, confidence issues, all of those things. Okay, so the second reason out of 4 that we eat is for joy, for pleasure. So this is when you want to have that dessert, or you want your favorite slice of pizza or whatever. I mean, some of those things can fall into more than one category. You could be eating to fuel yourself and for pleasure, but it's going to fall into at least one of these 4 categories every single time you eat. Okay, so joy, pleasure. That's okay. When I coach my clients, I never ask them to take away any food that they really love. I think everything has a place, and I think that you can kind of decide what works for you. Laura says, I need this right now. Okay, great. Good, Laura, that I'm talking to you. By the way, I'm always talking to myself too. Every time I do these little things where I'm coaching you guys, I'm always telling you what I need to hear myself too, because this is the reason why I know it so well, because I've applied these things to myself. Okay, so joy food. So there's a place for it for everybody, right? And it depends on where you're at right now, and it depends on what your goal is and how fast you want to get to your goal, and all of those things matter. But let's just say arbitrarily, we'll say once a week. Once a week, there's room for you to have your favorite piece of cake or cupcake, whatever. There could be. And could you make it a little bit healthier by making it yourself? Yes, absolutely. There's always tweaks that we can make to it, right? It depends really on what you want to do. But when you eat, it's either going to be to fuel your body, or it's going to be the joy of it. You're sitting, it's a social atmosphere. You know, this can apply to drinking too, alcohol. You know, it's just pleasurable. So you're enjoying the experience. And I think that really has an important role in our lives too. Now, the next 2 reasons we eat are the things that will push the needle in one direction or another. You know, creating problems or not creating problems. And before I go into those next 2, I want to say one thing. And this is a little controversial sometimes. People think, but I just want you to stick with me here. If you believe that you are overweight, it is because you're overeating, period. And I know it sounds oversimplified and I know it sounds harsh, but we can actually dive down into the overeating and explain it out even more. Overeating just simply means you're taking in more fuel than your body needs for the weight that you desire it to be. So even if you're overweight and you're not gaining weight, but you're still maintaining your weight, you're still pulling in more fuel on average, maybe not each day, but on average, you're pulling in more fuel than your body needs to maintain that weight that you believe to be ideal, which is lower than that. I also want to have another caveat here that I don't believe that people should fixate on a certain number on the scale. In fact, a lot of my clients, I tell them to throw out the scale. I promise you, if you get to a place where your weight is where you want it to be, you will know, and you don't need to weigh yourself. You will know by looking at yourself in the mirror. You will know when you bend over and tie your shoes and your body just feels more agile and flexible, and it doesn't feel like there's all this excess fat in the way. That's not going to sneak up on you. You don't need the scale to tell you that. So I would say 75% of women, totally arbitrary, but I'm just making it up, 75% of women, I think, don't do well with the scale because they let their day be a good day or a bad day based on that number on the scale. And if it really affects you in your mind, it's not a good tool for you. Because just as good as the motivation from a good day is, if you get on the scale and you've gained 2 pounds overnight of water weight, let's just say it's that time of the month, or you had some extra salt the day before, if that's going to ruin your mood, it's going to also affect all the decisions you make for the day, and that's when people get off the horse, so to speak. So throw the scale away, or give it to somebody else, or tell your husband or your spouse or whoever to hide it from you, at least for now, because I don't think that you need the scale. So when I talk about weight, I'm just talking about the way that you feel. You know your weight. You're either happy with where you're at or you're not happy with where you're at. Okay, so these last 2 reasons that people eat. Number 1 is for distraction. So this is when you find yourself, you're watching a movie and you find yourself at the bottom of a huge bowl of popcorn, and the popcorn might have even been like gross and stale, and you didn't care. You just polished it off. You were tuned out. You weren't paying attention, and you're like, oh my gosh, how did I eat all of that? Okay, we've all done it. We've all done it. Some of us do it all the time. Some of us do it less often, but we've all done it. That is the distraction, and typically what you're craving in that moment is the break, right? You maybe needed to sit down with the movie, but you just got in the habit of eating along with it. Or even just the fact that when we sit down to eat, sometimes we slow down our breathing just to be able to chew and swallow and breathe. If you think about it like a baby, they need to learn how to swallow, breathe, and that whole cycle. We do that too. So we might even just be craving the chance to sit down and slow down our breathing without realizing that we're now eating tons of food in order to do that. So that's the distraction. And it also could be, every night you come home from work and you say, I deserve this. I just worked really hard. I deserve this fast food meal, or I deserve this, bag of chips or whatever. It's that need for a break a lot of times too. The 4th reason we overeat is to numb our negative feelings. So this typically happens in a rapid way. So this is when you eat a lot of food in a very small period of time. Some people call it binge eating. You can call it whatever you want, but you are doing it to numb a certain feeling. And a lot of times this happens when you're alone because you almost feel shameful about it when other people are around. Hey, Cynthia, thanks for joining. So that's the 4th reason. So we eat to numb our pain. Now, what's interesting about this is that I would love to be able to tell you that if you can stop doing this, that you're going to feel so much better, lose the weight, and be amazing. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you're eating to numb any kind of pain, and when I say pain, I mean discomfort, the feeling of fear, procrastination, depression, sadness, anger, frustration, any of those things. So, hey, Cynthia. If you are numbing that type of thing, that type of pain, then when you stop the overeating, you're going to feel all those feelings. So it's actually really uncomfortable at first when you stop, which is why a lot of people just don't want to go there, because they realize that there's a lot of work to get through before getting to all those sunshine and rainbows on the other side. You're going to start feeling your feelings. You're going to realize that, let's say you dislike your job and you've kind of been like overeating your way through that. Well, when you stop overeating, you might realize that you actually hate your job and you didn't realize how bad it was. You have to feel those feelings. So you have to be okay with letting those things come up and realizing that anything that you're feeling it's just a feeling, it's just an emotion, it's okay. And until you make it a bad thing, or you start to spin out of control where you feel like you're never going to come out of that negative feeling and you're resisting it, that's when you run into problems with it. If you kind of let those negative feelings come and go, they will go. It's just a matter of not resisting it. So that's a long topic, and maybe I'll get into it another time. But right now I just want to really focus on these 4 reasons that you eat. Because when you're aware of it, if you can just sit down and say, why am I eating right now? Is it reason number 1, reason number 2, reason number 3, or reason number 4? Just bringing your mind back to the awareness actually changes which part of the brain you're thinking about it. So there's the lizard brain, that's like our old brain that is deep-rooted in habits. And then once you start to think about it with it's called the prefrontal cortex, you're actually bringing an awareness to it. You have the ability to change it. So just, this is a good tip for you for this week. Try this exercise. Every time you sit down to eat for the rest of this week, just ask yourself, which reason am I eating right now? Is it number 1, which is to fuel my body? I'm truly hungry, like physically hungry, and I just want to fill it up with healthy foods. Is it reason 2, which is because I want some joy? This is my favorite tasting cupcake. I'm enjoying this, wine with my family, whatever. Is it for joy? And that's okay. That has a place too, right? Is it number 3, which is distraction? You need a break. You need to veg out. You just kind of are having an outer body experience. Or is it number 4, which can sometimes feel like an outer body experience, but really feels more like you're out of control, and that's to numb something, numb feelings. Are you eating lots of food really fast? And by the way, when people do that sometimes, these binge eating, it can be so dramatic that when they write a food journal or they think about what did I eat during the day, they're like, I'm hardly eating anything. I'm eating like a rabbit. I eat barely any food. They're going on and on about that, but they're forgetting that maybe just once a week they have a binge eating episode, and that could negate all of the work that you did during the week of trying to be mindful of what you ate, right? You can make up all those calories and then some in just one session of overeating or binge eating. So you eat, every time you eat, it's for one of those 4 reasons. And I appreciate you guys for watching me live. If you have any questions, drop them down below. If you would like to learn more about how I coach people through this process, just shoot me a message. I'll offer you guys a call for free, a free consultation, and we can see if we can just kind of kickstart your progress and upgrade your health and your body for the rest of the summer. I hope you're having a great day. As soon as I let you know when I'm going to be more consistent with coming to you live, I'll let you know so it's not just so arbitrary, okay? Thanks for showing up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!